Okay, today on the podcast, we need to just normalize a few things. Now, my voice still isn't the greatest, but I needed to talk about this before the topic just kind of went out of my mind. ADHD, it happens. So I wanted to get this recorded now because it is something that has been on my mind this entire week. I've been seeing so many posts about it. I wrote my blog on it, and I still had more to say. What a surprise. But we need to normalize a few things and talk about this because there's a huge difference between marketing to pain points and solving someone's problem within reality and what's happening, the marketing that is happening in the industry where it's pushing everything so far that it's almost like everyone is trying to one up each other for how much faster or less work their option or program or method or whatever is, or their course can, give you this overnight success. And it's going to be so easy. And like you have to do nothing and it just all falls into place. And all this does is it leads into all these thoughts of, I'm not doing this well enough. I'm not doing it the right way. Why is it taking me so long? Why do I have to hustle? You're on YouTube, you can see my air quotes, and grind for more than 1 to 2 hours a day to build my business. Where is my overnight success? What is wrong with me? Like all of these questions that we keep asking ourselves and thinking, why is no one else feeling like this? And the reality is, this isn't happening for anyone, A, and most people are feeling like that because this is what the marketing is driving right now. It's driving this culture of leading people to think that if you aren't achieving this overnight success, if you're having to work, you know, a regular work day, God forbid, or a couple hours on the weekend, or, whatever it may be, you're not you're not doing it right. Like, how is that the way that you're building your business? You're definitely failing. Oh my God. But the reality is, um, nobody is building their business on 1 to 2 hours a day. Like, and I can't tell you the number of posts I've seen this week where people are questioning why they are having, or it's not why they're having to work more than it sort of is why they're having to work more than that, but it's more so what is wrong with them that they are having to work more than that. And it's like, well, because you are building a business, you run a business, and that's what's required. Um, like I could just stop there, but I mean, all of the things, if you're serving clients, it's going to be definitely more than 1 to 2 hours a day. And then running like all the things you're doing for your business on top of that, making content, posting the content, figuring out, kind of your marketing strategy and where you want to go next, what you want to promote next, like, where you want your business to go. It like there's just so many different things, and that's a very few things, but there is so much that goes into running a business. And I think that it's either been sugar coated to this thing where like there's very little that you need to do. It's just like, post one post and all these clients should just come out of nowhere and buy all your shit, which like I don't know who that happens for, but that would be great if that were the case. However, it's not. like it's just not reality. And it's the marketing right now that is so prevalent and leading people to feel like they aren't doing enough or they are doing it wrong or it's taking too long for them because building a business takes time. It takes time. I've been doing this for 3.5 years. And, every month isn't like the best thing ever. It's still not super steady at, a huge income level. Like it takes freaking time. And it's just something that you are going to have to continue to work on. And it's probably going to take more time than you think. And it's not something, when you think about it taking more time, it's not doing a launch for a week. That's not enough time. You didn't try enough. I'm sorry, but excuse me, that's not enough time. Like you're really going to have to give these things more than that. And especially with everything that's online now, when we are talking about like launching, for example, you're probably going to have to extend it out to, you know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and really be focusing on that one thing. There's so much shit online. How much do you see in a day? And if you are only posting your stuff for a week and then saying that that's a fail, you haven't given it enough time to even see what happens. But there's also the other side of this that some of what I'm seeing, and I know some of these posts that were posted, there's just no strategy there either. And it's just like the post and pray, and there's a lot that goes into this. And when it's, there are so many things wrong with this like pressure marketing of you're doing all of this wrong if it's not happening fast and you don't have to, not work to make it happen. If you only, it's wrong if you're actually working to make your business happen. Well, that's not reality. It's just plain and simple. That is not reality. And we really need to start talking about this more. There's more people that need to start talking about this because people need to hear it for it to become something that is normalized and for it to compete with all of this marketing that's saying that you should be just making all like sales overnight. If you start your business tomorrow, first sale happens tomorrow. That's not going to happen. Like, well, maybe, but I mean, likelihood, probably not. We just really have to get realistic about these things. And if it doesn't happen that fast, there's nothing wrong with you. It's not you. And that's the biggest point that I want to make here is that it is not you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's this goddamn stupid marketing that's going on that is telling you it's you. It's not. It's the unrealistic picture that is being portrayed that you're trying to live up to that doesn't exist. So we really need to get away from this and we need to start talking about what it actually looks like. Obviously, that's why I started this podcast. But, you know, when I think about it myself, I work, 5 to 8 hours a day. And that's with client work, with calls, with whatever I'm doing for my business, content, all of those kind of things. I also have a lot of freedom within that, and I'm able to pick up my kids. Jameson does, or drop off my kids. Jameson does the pickup. But I'm able to do that, and I can take days off when I want. You still have a lot of freedom within that, but you are going to have to work because it's a business. And I think that a lot of this has, like, the marketing and the thoughts around it has gotten away from the fact that, like, you are actually building a real business. And it's not something that's just, I hate saying this, but it's true. It's not just like playtime. It's an actual business. And if you are truly serious about wanting to run it, yeah, it's going to take time and it's going to take hours being put in. Does that mean to the point of burnout? No. But, like, we have to be realistic with what we're going to have to put in. The other thing that I did want to talk about too is, there's so much of also saying that there's only one way to do it and one way to build your business. It has to be like this model or this, you have to do this thing or that thing or whatever. I really want you to know you can be the first to do things. You can be the first. It doesn't matter if no one else has done what you want to do. It literally doesn't matter. That is actually the best place to be in, because if no one else has done what you want to do, whether it's like a type of business model or, a type of program that you want to run or whatever it is, that's probably the best case scenario. And I'm not saying, like, if you don't have that idea, it's bad, but if you do have one of these ideas, don't be like shying away from it because nobody's done it before. Oh my God, I can't do that because that's never happened before. I hate it when people say that. I'm like, no, that is what you need to grasp onto. Because consider this, if you are the first, you also get to monopolize the market with that. So if you are the first and it's like an amazing idea and it takes off, you're the one who gets all of the advantages of that. So stop thinking that you can't do these things and think outside the box, and like that going against a lot of the popular thoughts online and, the marketing that we see so much out there is a bad thing. I I mean, like, I talk about it all the goddamn time. I don't care. And we need to normalize more of this because a lot of it, a lot of it just is plain dumb. But you really need to think about what is going to work for your business. And for a lot of businesses, just going over all of this, for a lot of people, for a lot of businesses, working 1 to 2 hours a day is not going to happen. Like, that's not a thing. Building a business and having it take off overnight, probably not going to happen. That happens to very few people. And, I think about this too. Did you start your business so that you could retire in like 6 months? If the answer is no, why are you worried about it taking more time? I I totally understand getting to the point of sustainability and like that I understand because obviously I like I want that too. And the thing, I guess the thing is, you just you don't need to be rushing these like huge months or these huge milestones if you're going to be doing this long term. There's no point because whether you get to the whatever your huge goal is, you know, 3 months from now, which probably not going to happen, or 2 years from now, are you really going to be disappointed? Like, are you going to be disappointed if that happens? I'm thinking not. But if you get there 2 years from now, it's probably also going to be sustainable because if you get there in a couple months, you're probably going to be doing something that's not sustainable because those like fast income type things are usually one-offs and they usually don't last. So you really want to think about all of this when you are, looking at these marketing ploys. I don't even know what to call it, but looking at this and, you know, starting to feel this way about it because it's not just you. And there is nothing wrong with you. You're not doing things wrong. If it's taking you time, if it's, you're working a few hours a day, that's normal. And I really do want you to be the first or to build your goddamn business however you want to do it. Like, that is so important to remember. You cannot fall into this, it has to be one way, or you can't do it because no one else has done it. You can do whatever the fuck you want. There are no rules. There are none. So that's what I have for you today. Let's continue this conversation, continue normalizing this. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. So reach out when you listen. You can leave it, comments on YouTube. You can message me on Instagram at I am Tara Leeson. And let's just continue the conversation. And I will catch you in the next one.